Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a great Tuesday so far. Today, I decided I would pull this set that I bought a couple years ago off of eBay. It's 1995 Crown Jewels, but it's not just the regular set. If you pop it open, it has this nice lining on the inside, kind of like what you would see with a coin or a ring or something. And it's actually a sapphire set. I'm not going to go through the entire set because it is about 100 cards long, but I did want to give you guys a look at the cards. Each card is, they're not sequentially numbered, but there you can see they're numbered out of 2,500. The Crown Jewels base set, which is what this is, but it is a parallel version. The base set is ruby, so the diamond up here and the lettering is going to be red. They also have an emerald, a citrine, which is yellow, and a diamond, which is white. I don't know that sapphire was released in the packs or just in this particular set. Have not done enough research on that. The backs of the cards, there you've seen what the front of the card looked like. The back has another picture of the driver of the car, the card number in the upper right-hand corner there, and just a small bit of information that's a bit tricky to read. But I do like these cards. We'll go through a handful of these here real quick and kind of show you. But you see Dale Earnhardt starts off at number 1. And Jeff Gordon has the next position there in line in the cards. And then it just goes through. I don't know. Yeah, these are not in order. So I thought these might have been in order, but they are not. So with Dale being number 1, it just kind of, I thought the rest of them were ordered. Then when I seen that Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon card pop up there, you see Ken Schrader. It does have crew chiefs in here, which I like. You have Robbie Loomis, who was a longtime crew chief at Petty, then later went to Gordon's team. He won the title with Gordon in 01. Jimmy Makar, who is an executive at Joe Gibbs Racing now. I believe it also may have some owners in here. It's been such a while since I've went through this set. Sterling Marlin, Jeff Bodine. So it has all the big names of the mid-90s that you would expect. Dale Jarrett, that was the only year he drove for Robert Yates, 1990. Or I'm sorry, the only year he drove the 95 car. Or we'll get this right here in a minute. The only year he drove the 28 car was in 95. Bill Elliott, that was his first season as being an owner driver. Michael Waltrip, this was his last season at Bahari before going to the Wood Brothers. Lake Speed, who drove the number 9 Spam car for Harry Melling. Brett Bodine. Steve Grissom, who drove for Diamond Ridge Motorsports. They picked up the Meineke sponsorship for 95. Had a pretty consistent year. I think they ended up 22nd in points. Johnny Andretti, who drove for Cranefus Haas in 1995. Picked up his first career top 5 and pole position. Joe Gibbs, okay, so we do have the owners in here. Travis Carter, who owned a pseudo Junior Johnson team. This was Travis Carter's team, but it was kind of like a third team of Junior Johnson's, but they actually went on to have some better runs, and then they kind of went flat after the Kmart debacle in 2002 and started losing their sponsorships. There's Darrell Waltrip. It does have the rig or the semi cards that feature the haulers of NASCAR. Does have some Busch Series drivers. There's Tommy Houston, who was the all-time starts leader for quite a long time in the Busch Series. Bobby Dotter, who owns SS Greenlight Racing now in Xfinity, the 07 and 08 cars. Hermie Sadler, who was, I believe, a co-founder of Impact Wrestling. If not a co-founder, he was one of the guys behind the scenes that helped run it. And I believe him and Hermie actually run a truck stop on I-85 somewhere in Virginia. Sadler's Truck Plaza. I'd like to go by there sometime. I heard they had some nice memorabilia and such. Chad Little, who's a NASCAR official now. Mike McLaughlin, whose son Max is working his way up through the K&N ranks. Or K&N, it's a Menards East series, but the K&N ranks was what I refer to him as. There's Bill Elliott. Again, owner, first-year owner that year. Chad Little on the right, and I believe that's Mark Rippon on the left. Trying to read those It's kind of funny, that was the first Busch Series driver to ever win the series opener at Daytona under the When they became a national touring series, the race was sponsored by Goodies, and ironically, it was a Bear-sponsored car that won. Those of you that don't know, Goodies is a headache powder. Bear also is a headache, a company that manufactures headache and pain relief remedies. And there's always all sorts of those ironies in racing. There's DW's holler. So it's only been a few minutes, so I guess we'll go ahead and rip into the second stack here, just so that we can give you guys a view of all the cards real quick. Sterling Marlin right there, Jeff Gordon. Now that one's the card number 2, Jeff Gordon. Maybe someday I'll put these in order, but this is just how I got them on eBay. Ken Schrader driving for Hendrick, Labonte driving for Hendrick, Darrell Waltrip in his own team, of course. There we have Ernie Irvan, who was, at the time, he was kind of behind the scenes at Robert Yates Racing. He was recovering from injuries suffered in 1994 at Michigan. First time we've seen Kyle Petty, he was driving for Felix Sabates. Morgan Shepherd with the Wood Brothers. Ted Musgrave had his best career season in 1995 driving for Jack Roush. Ended up 7th in points. There's Jimmy Spencer, who drove that car that Travis Carter owned. Joe Nemechek, he was in his first year of Nimco moving up to the Cup Series. Kenny Bernstein, the famed drag racer who owned the 26 car, and this was the last season the 26 car would race. He would sell the assets of the team at the end of the season. Derek Cope, who drove for Bobby Allison. There's Junior Johnson, who passed away, I believe, last year. Larry McClure. There's a very good interview with Larry McClure this week on the Scene Vault podcast. It should drop here tomorrow. I'm a Patreon of that podcast, so I got the early sneak peek of it. Listened to it yesterday. Really, really good interview. They talk about their rise at Morgan McClure, their early years. Can't wait till they get into the Ernie Irvan, Sterling Marlin, and Bobby Hamilton years. That'll be a good listen. Ricky Rudd, owner-driver. There's Joe Nemechek again. And we are stuck a little bit. Billy Engel. Billy eventually would leave this team to go crew chief at Diamond Ridge for driving opportunities in the Busch Series. He always aspired to be a driver. He ran a few Busch Series races in the Diamond Ridge number 29 car later on. Robin Pemberton. Robin was kind of always a high-end crew chief, high-level crew chief. He would crew chief at Roush, and here you see him at Penske. Can't remember where else he would go to, but he was always at the top of his game. There's Buddy Parrott. So there you have Joe Gibbs' car. I'm not going to turn these sideways. Derek Cope, Kyle Petty. So there's some really, really nice paint jobs back in the mid-90s. There you have Kyle's hauler, Terry Labonte's hauler. These are just starting to stick together just a little bit. David Green, 94 Busch Series champion. Johnny Benson, who is the 95 Busch Series champion, 94 Busch Series Rookie of the Year. Kenny Wallace, who unveiled a Red Dog sponsorship, I believe in 94 or 95, Red Dog Beer. Clabber Girl Baking Powder sponsored Stevie Reeves, driving for Ed Whitaker during this season. Stevie was a sprint car driver from Indiana, and Clabber Girl is based out of Terre Haute area here in Indiana as well. Stevie, I believe, is still a spotter in the Cup Series last time I heard. Jason Keller drove his family-owned budget gourmet car. There you see Terry Labonte after a win, Sterling after a win. There's Kyle. Dale Jarrett won his first career pole in the 28 car. 3 in a row for Rick Hendrick at the beginning of the year. Back-to-back Daytona 500s for Sterling. The Monte Carlo, of course, its long-awaited comeback in 1995 after being phased out in 1989 in favor of the Lumina. And, of course, you've seen a checklist in each stack. So originally I wasn't going to go through all the cards, but I forgot how many star drivers there were back in 1995, how much history there was in the sport back in 1995. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, this is the 1995 Crown Jewels Sapphire set, so it's a blue foil, and it's limited to 2,500 print runs. They are not sequentially numbered, but still a nice piece to have to the collection, and I still see these today on eBay. So later on today, apologize for that. So anyway,